What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time I'm going to be covering Scream 3, the final chapter in the original Scream trilogy. Wes Craven, the master, returns as director. Aaron Kruger takes the place of Kevin Williamson, since Kevin Williamson was unable to finish off his planned trilogy. Old cast members Liev Schreiber, Nev Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox return. We get some new additions to the cast also to round out the rest of the film. What do I think of Scream 3? Scream 3 is okay. It's a decent tie-up of the original trilogy. You know, it ties everything up in as neat as a bow as it possibly can. There's some problems with it here and there, but it's nothing offensive or anything like that. It's just things that you gotta really suspend your disbelief in order to swallow. But I'm gonna tell you the things I did like, though. One of the things I love is the opening prologue to this movie. We kill off Cotton Weary, and I like it a lot. Unlike the first two Screams, which gave us characters that we didn't know and had no connection to, we are connected to Cotton Weary. We're connected because he was in the first one. We're connected because his character was expanded upon in the second one, and now in the third one, we kill him off, and it works because it's something that the audience was not expecting. You know, Cotton was a major character in the Scream franchise. So to see him get killed off in the first 10 minutes, it set the bar for the rest of this movie. You know, this is a trilogy, and in trilogies, main characters can die. So that set the pace off perfectly. Another thing that I like the whole idea of this movie's backdrop being the production of the Stab 3 movie, which is the third part in the Move Within a Movie Stab series, which is based off the Woodsboro murders. I thought that all that was cool. You know, you actually get some cool sequences here and there. There's one cool sequence is a chase between the killer and Nev Cam and Sydney, when Sydney's running through the recreated sets of the Stu house and her house. I thought all that was pretty cool. Another thing I like are the character relationships. You know, Dewey and Gale, their relationship is expanded upon. You know, their natural chemistry shines as it did in the first two movies. At first, it's a little heated because we find out that after the events of Scream 2, Gale and Dewey tried to have a romance, and it didn't really work out because Gale, went off to be a reporter in other cities and pretty much left Dewey out in the cold. So there's a little resentment going on there between the two. But, they get back together, and at the end of the movie, Dewey proposes to Gale for marriage, and it gets wrapped up perfectly. I like it a lot. Another thing I like the budding romance between Mark Kincaid and Sydney. The movie doesn't throw it in your face that they're gonna be a couple, but it drops subtle hints that there's an affection there between Kincaid and Sydney. That was very understated, and I like it because they didn't shove it in your face. So I thought that was well handled. And Patrick Dempsey's performance as Mark Kincaid is actually really good as well. Kincaid's a badass character, and I like the idea of our three protagonists working with the police this time. They did in the second movie, but this one has a more prominent role, and Mark Kincaid is an actual character and not just someone who's there. So I like that a lot. He actually plays an important role in the story. Another thing I like the antagonistic relationship between Gale and this character called Jennifer Jolie, who is an actress in the Stab movie playing Gale Weathers. Their relationship is pretty much a recreation of Gale and Sydney, with Gale taking the role of Sydney and Jolie taking the role of Gale. So you get to see that contrast, and you get to see through Gale, and you get to see Gale gets to see how annoying and irritating she is, because she's working off someone else who's trying to act like her. So I like all that. It continues that whole meta thing. Another thing that I like, as usual, Wes Craven's directing is on point. He sets a very light-hearted and humorous atmosphere, like he did in the first two movies, so the comedy is a little bit more prevalent in this movie, which is give and take. You either accept it or you don't accept it. Me, personally, I'm okay with it. The cinematography by Peter Deming is fantastic. The movie is shot wonderfully. It looks beautiful. Mark Beltrami score, always on point. And the acting from everyone in the cast, from the main actors to the supporting cast, who are just, not really all that important. Everyone does a good job. To tell you the truth, if I have to like a character from the supporting cast, I got to go with the character of Victor of Stone, played by Patrick Warburton. mainly because I think Patrick Warburton is a legitimate funny guy, and I just love his dry humor, and I love the antagonistic relationship he has with Dewey. I thought that stuff was hilarious. And I also like this friendly rivalry that goes on between Kincaid and Dewey as well. I thought they had a lot of funny moments together as well. So yeah, all that stuff is good. Now let's get on to some negatives. Tell you the truth, the big negative in this movie is a character called Roman Bridger, who is revealed to be the killer. Roman Bridger is actually the director of the Staff 3 movie, and he is killing everyone because I really don't know why. Okay, I lied. I do know why Roman's killing everybody. Pretty much, this movie reveals to us that Roman is indeed Sidney's half-brother. Maureen Prescott, now, as the movie tries to tell us, Maureen Prescott went to Hollywood to be an actress, meaning she disappeared from Woodsboro for 2 years. And in so doing so, she was sleeping with this guy called John Milton, played by Lance Henriksen, the amazing Lance Henriksen, by the way. Now, during a party, she was gang raped, and Milton was the one who impregnated her with Roman. Anyway, when Roman got older, he went to confront Maureen and say, "Hey, I'm your son. Love me, accept me." And she was like, "You're Rena Reynolds' child, and she's dead. Fuck out my face." And Paul Rome is all like, "Mama, you suck." So he decides to make home movies, films Maureen banging Cotton, films Maureen banging Billy Loomis's dad, and it's revealed that Roman was the architect of the Woodsboro massacre. He was the one who influenced Billy to go on the killing spree, pretty much saying, "Listen, make sure that you have a partner so that when you get caught, you have someone to take the fall for you." Hence Stu's involvement in the murders. So, what the movie is trying to say is that this character, who had little to no presence in the movie and Scream 3 itself, he had a couple of scenes peppered in here and there, didn't really do anything, didn't really mean much to the overall plot, like the last 15 minutes of the movie. This guy is pretty much the architect of the entire Scream franchise. The events that the events he caused is the chain reaction that led to everything else. And you gotta really suspend your disbelief to swallow all this information, because when I saw this in theaters when I was 10, I was like, what? Watching it now, I'm like, what? It's kind of far-fetched. And it's a tough pill to swallow, and I personally don't like it because that raises more questions. Why did Maureen, why did this character Roman Bridger decide to do this now? Why did he do all this? Why did he decide now this was the time to reveal himself? Why didn't Maureen? It's already well known that Maureen Prescott was someone who kept her secrets very well hidden. But again, it just raises way too many questions, and it's just kind of it's dumb. I don't like it that much. I'm not a big fan of the whole twist of this movie. I think it's really stupid. So yeah, overall, the movie is good, but it's good. It's not great. It's not as good as 1 and 2, but it's not horrible either. You can watch Scream 3 and you're not going to be bored. It is entertaining. It's well paced, good atmosphere, and just get past the ending a little bit. The movie's fine. It wraps up the original trilogy in a nice little bow. Also, side note, Jamie Kennedy comes back as Randy in a cameo. And it's always fun to see Jamie Kennedy as Randy, and it asks the question, why did you kill this guy off in Scream 2? It's quite obviously Randy was it was a fan favorite, he's a good character. And you killed him for shock value, not because you had any reason to. Anyway, with all that being said, Scream 3 is a decent third entry, and it does a good job at tying up all the loose ends, I guess. And if you can accept the big twist at the end, then Scream 3 is okay. It's a decent little movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's watchable, it's entertaining, it has its moments where it has potential to be really, really good, but it can sometimes undercut its own feet. But hey, it's whatever. It's not horrible like a lot of people want to say it is. Anyway, let me know what you think about Scream 3 in the comment sections below. Like the video and subscribe, and I will check you back next time for more.